Hello, welcome to our review for The Lookout, released in 2007, and it stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jeff Daniels, Matthew Good and Elijah Fisher. So basically at the moment I'm a big fan of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, mainly from 500 Days of Summer, the movie Brick, and also his role in Inception. So I went through his IMDb page and I was trying to think of a movie to watch that he was in. I saw The Lookout and I thought it looked quite good, so I'd give it a go. Basically, he plays this guy who was in a car accident, and as a result, he kind of doesn't really have short-term memory. He kind of forgets things. He has to write them down, and his life has to be very much synchronized, or else he wouldn't be able to do it because he wouldn't be able to remember anything. He also has issues with anger outbursts and stuff like that. So yeah, basically one night he meets Matthew Good in a bar, and basically it's actually never quite clear where. I don't quite know if he does know him or whether Matthew Good is lying because he knows that, or he's just heard about him and he knows that he can lie and say, oh, we kind of used to know each other, we went to the same school. I don't know exactly whether that is true, but either way he says that he knows him and they become friends, and then basically, well, kind of friends, and then basically he tricks Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character into helping him rob the bank that Joseph works at. Okay, so this film was very good. I had a good time watching it, I must say. But it is kind of... There is an issue with the film that I think what it is it's a great character stuck in a movie that doesn't quite deserve this character. It is good. I mean, there is kind of a tale of two movies going on. You have one which is a really heartfelt, quite sad, heartbreaking kind of story of the character study of this guy who's been in an accident. And the other half is this kind of action caper heist thing. And to be fair, the elements of the shift between character-driven movie and heist bank robbery isn't as harsh as I thought it might be. They do it pretty well, but there are elements of it that are kind of over the top. I think that possibly the violence that Joseph's character partakes in isn't really part of his character. You can kind of see where he's coming from, but at the same time it just felt like he wouldn't do that as a character. He wouldn't. I know he was angry sometimes, but you knew that he was a good guy, and I don't think he would actually do that. You could see him getting tricked into doing the robbery, but in terms of the actual acting out violence, he didn't seem the type, which I thought was a bit odd. I don't think the movie seemed the type either, but obviously it is. But anyway, you know, that was slightly an issue for me. But as I say, this was a really good character study, more so than I thought it would be, actually. I really felt sad for him. There's this one brilliant scene where he has this kind of dream where he meets, he starts talking again to a girl who was in the car with him at the time. And there's this real sad moment where she shows him her false leg after the accident. And that was just so sad, and then to realise it was a dream, and then with words that he said at the very end makes it even more tragic. Really, really sad, and I think that's where this film works at its strongest. Jeff Daniels brings up another amazing performance. It doesn't matter what kind of... For me, he's like Philip Seymour Hoffman. It doesn't matter what role he's in, he's going to nail it, and he always does. And I thought he was great here. Actually, the TV show At the Movies brought up a really good point, which I kind of agree with their review, was that he was kind of playing this character that could easily have been cliched. He was kind of blind. He was blind, and he was kind of like a wise man. So that is kind of like cliched in a sense, in a kind of fairy tale kind of weird way. And he could have played it so cliched and so predictable, but it was really real, and he was funny at times. He was complicated. There was elements you didn't like about him. He was just perfectly played. And then, of course, let's not, without mentioning Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who always brings a brilliant performance, and again did it perfectly. As I say, the character was tragic, and you felt every moment of it. Isla Fisher, I think, was kind of in a bad role because she was really like a femme fatale, kind of didn't really matter kind of situation, and I think she's better than the material gave her. But same for Matthew Good. I think he's better than the material gave him. He's good in the film, but he's not quite as good as he can be in past films, and I mean that's mainly because he has to play very much as I said, the movie is two sides. It's the drama and it's the Craig Caper, and he is that side of the movie. When he comes into it and that fully gets into swing, he is that side of the movie, which is, in my opinion, the lesser side of the movie. It's not terrible, but it's the lesser side. So he represents that. Therefore, he has to have the more hyperbolic, more over-the-top moments. And I think, though it isn't too bad, you know, because he represents that side of the movie and he has to be that guy, his performance is kind of hindered by that, because of the things he has to do and that person he has to be. Basically, he hasn't got as much subtlety to work with, but it's basically what I'm saying. Okay, so overall, this is a very enjoyable and recommended film. As I say, if you don't like the action side of it, don't be too worried, because I think I didn't either, I must say, but it didn't completely ruin the movie for me. As I said, it's not great, the action side, but it didn't ruin it, and I think if you focus on the struggle of Joseph's character, it makes the film a whole lot better. And I think that is where the heart of the film is, and for that, it's an amazing film, and it's just slightly let down by some stuff, the action stuff. And in some ways, it's the same how I felt about District 9, though I changed my mind about that now, but District 9 I felt was let down by the action second half, because the rest of it was really an interesting story about this character, and then it kind of got away with itself. And I think this is what this film does. But you can't go wrong with two amazing performances, one pretty solid one, and in general a great narrative. So check it out. I think it's a really underrated movie of 2007, which was already a great year.